Okay, pure dumb luck. Pure dumb luck. PSG's opening goal was pure dumb luck. The deflection was accidental and perfect. So, pure dumb luck. That's something good that came from luck and not skill. So, if you were watching the match between PSG and the Seattle Sounders, you would have noticed that deflection for PSG was very fortunate, very lucky, and their first goal was pure dumb luck. That's the match we're going to be looking at today. I've got Alfonso here again, and we're going to go over what happened in that PSG Seattle match. So here he comes. Hey,
Hello.
Alfonso, how's it
How are
going?
you? Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, good,
I,
good,
I,
thanks. Good, good.
I quite disagree with you. I think it was on purpose, the goal.
Yeah?
Nah, not
You think it
really.
was on
But,
purpose? You think that back shot?
that's impossible. You
They
can score if
practiced that
you.
one, maybe.
Yeah, it was lucky one. Anyways.
But yeah, I think it's a bit unfair. PSG don't really need luck to score goals, especially not against a team like Seattle. So it's a bit unfair when they get luck in their favor. What did you think of the match overall? Were you surprised by the result? Did you expect more? What was your thoughts?
To be honest, I expect a little bit more. But remember we talked about Real Madrid, the last games that they're tired. They don't, teams have finished the season in Europe, and but that's no excuse. Like I said, PSG need to, score probably 3 or 4. Yeah, to be honest, I will expect a bit more, more punished men about, fast counter attacks and finishing ruthless, this kind of PSG style. But it's a win and they qualify. So
Yeah, sorry. Look, I'll be honest. I think the connection's a bit of a problem. We're gonna try to continue. Hopefully, the connection gets a bit stronger, but it's a little difficult to hear what you're saying.
Okay.
Stopping and starting. But I gather you think you expect PSG to score more goals against a team like Seattle generally.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I expecting 3, 4, 5, but win is a win.
Well, they did 5 against Inter Milan, didn't
in the final.
Yeah. You would think against Seattle, but as you said, it's a different situation. It's the end of the season. Maybe they're a little more tired. Maybe they're not as focused as well. Maybe the Club World Cup doesn't mean as much to them as it might mean to.
Yeah, probably.
But let's get into it.
Yeah, that's we can start with the lineup. So no Dembele, no Barcola. The other ones are the usual ones, the usual suspects. Yeah, but if you see the lineup, it's really dangerous. You go the trio in the midfield. João Neves, Vitinha, and Fabian, they rotate. For me, that's the key. You go Hakimi, who scores, and if you remember, we talk about Arnold. Hakimi is kind of similar, but Luis Enrique, the good thing he's been working with a team during the last years with Mbappe, now without Mbappe, and I think he's doing better. You remember the inversion when Arnold trying to play between the lines, so Hakimi doing this very well,
Yeah. Well, Hakimi, I think we talked about him recently as well. Hakimi's a very interesting player. Plays that very wide defensive role, but he's just so often up front in the box, ready. I mean, he did score in this match, didn't he? So he's a very aggressive fullback.
Yeah, he's aggressive. He played in the academy, and in the first team at Real Madrid. I watched him on Wembley when he played with Zidane, and I thought, okay, the guy's a little bit, young, but now he's a proper fullback. He's the, he's
Oh, he's one of the best.
He's one of the best. I agree. And if you look at the lineup, look at the right flank. It's Doué and Hakimi. You can play Doué, you can play Barcola, Carastella, they play on the other side. You don't have Dembele, even you don't have the number 9. So they play like false 9 with Mayulo. And it works because, like I said, it's a team that, with Luis Enrique, you notice that they've been working tactically during the last year. So, and you saw the final of the Champions League, you saw the other game, semi-final, and PSG was like top team, so impossible for other teams. And if you see this game, I like sometimes to do like compare teams. This Real Madrid Zidane team and PSG are the same, but they got similarities. They can punish the other teams in the second half. So that's PSG doing the second half. Is if you watch the game, I watch Seattle. It was defending, and they don't have stamina to carry on. And Hakimi always on finishing the action and even score goals on the attacking side. Doué plays in different roles, and then at second half, Barcola coming, and Barcola was crucial in the game. So I explained to you why.
Doué plays different roles.
Yeah, different roles. Doué he can play inside. He can play like a wide. Barcola play near Joao Neves, even wide. They floating. Even when Dembele is playing, Dembele is doing the number 9. So I like the floating system, similar to Xabi Alonso wants to achieve, I guess.
With Real Madrid, that idea that the attacking players can all sort of move around and swap
with Vitinha, I think so, because this team is doing the things perfectly. Vitinha midfielder, Fabian Ruiz near him, Joao Neves as well. They interchange their floating positions. Carastella, he can play on the left and the right. He can play inside. He can play false 9. There's so many options, and you got the fullbacks. Hakimi and Nuno Mendes, and solid centre backs and Donnarumma, which is a top keeper. So you see the team, great team.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they've just won the top European trophy, so they should be a good team, right?
It's good one. Okay, so if I got different notes about the style, because it's a classic 4-3-3 classic, but they use Hakimi attacking, super aggressive on the ball, and in the last third, this team is punish the other teams. Like I said, we watch Real Madrid back in the days, they punish the other teams in the second half. So this team, they're doing the same. They can play number 9 with a number 9. You go Barcola, you go Doué. These players are top players. If I put a list of Ballon d'Or, I put these players on top 10. So also Vitinha.
Their style of play very possession based, right, and vertical.
Yeah, and vertical, super vertical, and the floating thing. The rotational. This is causing chaos. I play sometimes when I used to play winger, when I used to play near the center mid. If you rotate these 3 players in a 4-3-3, you cause chaos in the other team. There's no way the other team they can follow you, because at some point you get lost. Vitinha doing number 10, and then Fabian, he's attacking, and then he's using Luis Enrique him as a midfielder. Doué appears on the right side, and then Dembele, not in this game, but in other games, is number 9. He's starting the press. Barcola sometimes switch off the game, and then he plays, and he assists. So how many players, top players they have, and they so fast transition. So a good thing is they losing the ball, they winning back, and then they attacking. So
Sure. Yeah, high press straight away when they lose that ball right there. They want it back very quickly. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I show you some of examples if you like. Yeah.
Please do. Yes.
Yeah. So it's in the second half. Yeah. The first goal is a corner, and they shooting, like we said, and then lucky one. But I think that the second one they got more interesting things to see. So for example, play in the middle, I think is the way. Yeah. They drive forward. Yeah. This is a counter-attack, classic one. So they drive forward, and Barcola's on the left, and the free space is just there. So he needs to drive into, and then two options. You can play to the right or play to the free space. If I clever like him, I play free space because he's a Barcola. Barcola can do everything. Yeah, he's capable to do everything. He's talented. So
you would just go straight to the free space and let Barcola take it from there.
Exactly. So, and then this is the next step. So they play Barcola. You see one of the players, PSG players, attacking, and Barcola is ready to do the 1v1. So easy for him. If I were the other team, I don't let him do the 1v1. But look, I understand the second half. Seattle is tiring, and they don't get back as fast as the first half. It's understandable. But anyways, you go back on the 1v1. Yeah. And the worst thing that you can do is defending him well inside the box because it's dangerous. He's starting to do, his stuff, cutting inside, outside. And then, if you see Hakimi, so one of the good teams, they have a really good fullback. So look at Hakimi. Do you think, for example, there's a number 9, let's say, or number 10, they classic finish the action. And look at Hakimi, no one watching him. Barcola is doing his stuff in, out. And then you're expecting probably a shooting from Barcola or maybe the passing to Hakimi. So Barcola doing the job, passing to Hakimi, and Hakimi is ruthless and he scores. So the cutback pass is the key. It's half goal for Barcola. He done everything, and he scores.
It's all set up for him, right? And he's in that advanced position, like we were saying. Hakimi has a very plays very high in attack and gets into those spots.
I like him. It's very aggressive, and then if you have a player like Hakimi, use him in attacking side, so you can you can go more options, and these chances he's capable to score. So look, he scores. So Barcola pass and Hakimi scores. So should be the opposite, right? Hakimi delivers and Barcola scores, but PSG is floating.
Exactly. Well, that's what it would have been in the past, right? You would have had the fullback who gets the ball in for an attacking player, and now it's the attacking players get the ball in for those secondary attacking players. It's an interesting change.
Yeah, it's difficult to play against even the PSG style is difficult because they are unpredictable. They're so unpredictable.
Absolutely. All right. Yeah. Great. Anything else we're going to look at for this one?
No. Probably. Look, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the Seattle, 6 on the box, and they're not marking anyone. I mean, I know they're trying to stop the shooting, but look, Barcola is super quick. Made the pass in in life. This is quicker. So Barcola doing 1v1, passing, finishing, and that's it.
What do you think was the big problem for Seattle? Was it just like their players don't have the same quality? Is that it, or they weren't organized? They tactics and strategy.
No. I watched Luis Enrique. He said he was a good team. I watched them. They working very well in defensively, but at the end, I told you they don't have the stamina to keep on going. Probably the quality as well. But if you are well organized, probably you can resist. To be honest, 2-0 is not that bad for them. I will take it 2-0 if I was Seattle supporter.
You would accept that?
If they're expecting 5,
2-0 is a good result.
I check the socials and they're expecting 5 or 4, you know. So, and by the way, they got
would have been a more
they got a big chance in the first half. Donnarumma messed up and then they nearly scored. Anyway, but just the only chance.
Yeah, no, they did mess that up, but it was only 1 and PSG had 2, so it wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah, they couldn't cope at the end, the last 20 minutes. You know, that's the best that they can do, in my opinion. So yeah, and
cool.
For if you like to go to the conclusion or or key things on the game, So that for me was again Vitinha and the midfielders. If you see Vitinha playing Wolves years ago, and he was weak. That I don't say this; they say when they play on the Wolves on the Premier League, and look at them now. Won the trophy and give assists. And Champions League winners, or it's evolution. But like I say, as a midfielder, he can play in central role, double pivot, But for me, him is he's managing the tempo. He's the key player in the midfielder. Again, when you got players like Due,
he's the one who's usually winning the ball back, putting the pressure where they need to.
So that makes difference with this kind of players. So for me, it's the clinical finishing they have, and really, really aggressive players when they have the ball and off the ball as well. And they, like I said, the transition are super fast. You can break in lines, you can break in teams with this kind of players. So, and Seattle, couldn't cope at the end. So that's all for me, I think. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, Alfonso, thank you for putting that together, and thank you for bringing it to us. How do you think PSG will do in the Club World Cup competition? Do you think good chance for winning it?
Pretty good chances, I think. I'm supporting today, but then I take this out and then I combine.
You've given up on round 3.
They got pretty good chances too. The team is is scarce all the other teams. If you see the players, like I said, you should be worried, to be honest. But anyway, 11-11, anything could happen, right? Anyway.
Well, thank you again for putting that together, and thank you everybody for joining and watching. We'll see you all next time.
Thank you.